Is that better? Do I sound better? No echo? What's up? How are you guys? Hopefully I sound better. I apologize. I better? Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. I was fixing to go live. Sounds weird now. I was fixing to go live and I had everything set up. Went to go hit the live button, realized my mic was not working. So I don't know what happened to it, but I'll have to figure that out tonight because I got to get a video out. So thanks. I apologize. We had to move some things around, but how's everybody doing? Thomas, what's up? Lambo, glad to see you. LeChonk, how are you, buddy? Adro, I think that's everybody. How's y'all's weekends going? Any pickups? LeChonk, I'm waiting on a video for you. Lambo, I'm sure you'll probably drop a video tomorrow. But we're yeah, what's up? How are you guys? So we were gonna look at the market. Maybe if Whack comes in, we can kind of talk about it. I don't know if you guys have seen Chaos Rising, or not Chaos Rising, I apologize. Ninja Spinner. The Greninja is right now selling, and it just came out yesterday, selling for 225, 250, which is pretty cheap considering what the other Japanese top chase cards have been going for. And then the Dragalge is going for like 30 bucks right now. So I think we'll have to wait and see what the English is doing. I was trying to look at perfect order cards. Some of them are pretty stupid right now, what people are paying for them. Like I saw the Meowth SIR was going for, I think it's like $300-400. But yeah, we'll see. But so far, I mean, the Japanese it's performing pretty poorly as far as price wise. The boxes are going down in price, so I think that's good signs to come. We just got to see what the English market's going to do, which a lot of people are saying some crazy shit. People are saying that Perfect Order is going to continue to climb, and Anon just came out with a video like 30 minutes ago talking about how you need to get rid of your destined rivals and go into Perfect Order because of Stellar Crown compared to Surging Sparks, how Stellar Crown's outperforming Surging Sparks. I didn't get to watch the video. I just got to watch like a second of it. But guess what? While I'm trying to fix my mic tonight after this live and get a video out to you guys, I'll be watching that video. So a lot of interesting stuff for sure. For sure. Doing good on major pickups. Yeah, that's smart. That's definitely smart. You finally figured out your Walmart drop schedule, Lambo? I thought I did, and I'm pretty sure they went from Thursdays to Wednesdays now, which I've been getting screwed anyways. So found 2026 collection boxes. I did see that, Thomas. I can't find anything where I live. It's Dollar Generals. They say they don't have the prismatic ETBs. Dollar General. My Dollar Generals don't have anything. So for sure, yeah, I got a haircut, and I think we're gonna go bald next year because I don't know if you guys can see, but like it's starting to pull back. So we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Blood? How are you? The absolute stupid for that mouth. Yeah, it's which I get it, right? The set hasn't come out yet. We just got pre-orders. I believe the set comes out next Friday. I'm pretty sure. So first to market, first to go with the PSA 10 or Tag 10 or something like that. But I was pretty shocked to see the Meowth from Perfect Order. I think again, check on eBay. I think it was like $400 though, which is pretty crazy. The Clefairy was around $400 also. So, but like I said, Japanese Ninja Spinner is not performing very well. Like the Dragalge's $30 card. Um, there was like the IRs. I think somebody had all of the IRs from Ninja Spinner. It was like $60 for all of them. They're all $4 or $5. So boxes are going down. I don't think people are big fans of it. And like I said, the Greninja is $225. It's going to go down in price as well. So all good things, in my opinion. Perfect order to the moon. Yeah. Hey, it could be right. Um, Stellar Crown may surprise people because I don't think Stellar Crown's going to get any sort of reprint or anything like that. Perfect Order, maybe the same exact way. Do I expect it to be the most high performing box? No, but if they never print it, it doesn't matter what people think about the set as long as there's some form of chase. And I think there is. I think there's some form of chase, like the Clefairy or not Clefairy, the Clefable is pretty good. So all about rarity, scarcity. Look at Stellar Crown or not Stellar Crown, Shrouded Fable. Shrouded Fable is probably going to perform pretty well, not because it's good, because they really didn't print much of it. What's up, Roxy? How are you? Really hoping the Zygarde drops below 200. Yeah, I have not seen. Last I checked, which was a couple hours ago, I've not seen a Zygarde on eBay. So the SIRs were pretty sparse. I hope the Zygarde. I hope that like after a week of perfect order, the Zygarde is the top chase, and it's 200, 250 bucks, and then it just continues to go down. I think even you got to think if we see the Greninja, right? Let's say the Greninja comes out, it's $500 after a week or less than that. It starts off at 500. That's an improvement for sure over what we've seen because it's like every single set has had a chase card that has been $800 when it comes out, $1,000. So if we start seeing sets with the top chase card being for 400, 500 bucks or less than that, I think it's going to kind of push people away, especially if you're paying 200, 250 to, anything crazy like that. People are like, whoa, why am I, the likelihood of me getting this top chase card is very slim and I might break even. So again, I've been preaching stuff for a while. And if you listen, you're not saying that I'm some sort of genius, but it's some of these things are starting to come to pass. So, what's up, Joe? How are you, buddy? Shit will drop, my friend. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, and like I said, I talked to a couple of my Dollar Generals, Thomas, and they're saying that a lot of it's getting backdoored, and they're actually not even accepting. They're literally supposedly, which who knows, right? But they're apparently returning it right away. They're not even messing with it anymore. So Megalocar SI was chilling at 150 last week. Is it gone back up? I my daughter got the Gardevoir, so that was what I wanted from Mega. Besides the Mega Latias, I really want that one, but we're gonna have to wait. I think there's still opportunity. You know, Nostalgianomics came out with a video today, and I sent it to Brandon. And I don't know, Brandon, if you got to see it or not, but he said that sitting on the sidelines is stupid because you're never going to get a good opportunity sitting on the sidelines. I don't agree with that. I think if you sit on the sidelines, you pick up what you can, obviously, but I think you're going to be rewarded with how hyperbolic the market is right now. So I would disagree. But other than that, and I know this is going to be shocking, I think Nostalgianomics came out with a pretty decent video today. Do I know anything about interior doors? What about interior doors? The Zygarde is your chase in perfect order. Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I don't know. For me personally, I don't like that Zygarde. Um, I want that Rosa's. What does it come? Rosa's performance or something like that. I'm probably screwing it up, but I want like Rosa's perfection or something. That's what I want. And that card is going for like 250 right now in English. For, I think it's over glorified Journey Together set. Well, the only thing with that though, Lambo, is, and I would agree to an extent, but I think, oh, am I going to say it? Let me think about it. So Journey Together has Lily Sclefairy, Salamence. It's got Zorark. It's got what is the Beautyfly? Lily's Beautyfly. No, it's not Beautyfly. It's Cutie Fly. And then Destin Rivals, you have the Mewtwo, which I don't think people really care about. You've got Cynthia's Garchomp, which is a good one. You've got the Moltres, which is a good one. People do like the Crobat. The Kangaskhan is kind of a joke. Ethan's Adventure. I think so, based off of the SIRs alone, I think that it is a journey together, but better than Journey Together. I think there's more of a chase aspect to it, at least for me personally. You know, when you think about the cards that I named, and even then, I think that the Lily's Clefairy in Ascended Heroes or Mega Dream, I prefer that one over the Journey Together one. So, but is Destin Rivals glorified? Absolutely, like 100%. What's going on with your home door, Joe? You want the Mega Venusaur SIR taking a dump? What Mega Venusaur SIR? The old one? We haven't gotten a Mega Venusaur yet. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. Way too overhyped. I'm on the sidelines. Mega Starmie is your chase. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if it's $15 in Japanese, which I don't really see it going to that, I'll pick one up. But they really dropped. They really disappointed me on the Mega Starmie. So just buying singles. Yeah, that's smart, man. That's smart. Buy singles. Pick up what you can at MSRP or as comfortable as you feel about to MSRP, and just enjoy. Just enjoy it. It's definitely difficult. I'm starting to I'm picking my how much I'm allocating and then setting a bunch aside, and I think I'll be rewarded with that. I'll tell you what, my goal for this next correction, but bear market, is to really load up on products and still hold on to the product, but make some bigger moves during the next bull run. Have more of that liquidity, capital to be able to move maybe into bigger boxes or stuff like that. Still, again, investing for my children, but maybe being able to move into boxes that otherwise may have taken 5 years, 10 years to get my hands on potentially, or some chase cards. So that's my plan, is to go pretty heavy during the next bear market. After Ascended, you literally don't care about Destined Rivals? Really? So Ascended made you just not care about Destined Rivals at all? Gotcha. Yeah, I've not kept my eye. I almost had the opportunity to buy the Mega Venusaur. However, I'm just not a huge fan of the Mega Venusaur. Mm. I do like how the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur are a cohesive artwork, kind of like what they did with the Froakie and Frogadier and Greninja. I just kind of wanted a little bit more from the Venusaur. Ready for Mega Blastoise to be in a set? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think what I think personally is we will get a Mega Blastoise if this continues for another year. If we get another year through 2027 of Blastoise, I think it's going to happen. I think we'll get a Mega Alakazam, we'll get a Mega Houndoom. We'll get a lot of these older Megas we got in X and Y. If the Mega set is, you know, you know, like two more sets, three more sets into 2027, I don't know if we're going to get one. But I think, honestly, more than likely, I think we're Mega is going to be much longer than what we originally anticipated. So I hope I'm wrong. I'm really looking forward to just a new generation, getting to see some new Pokemon, seeing what the three starters are going to do. I know Lambo's afraid of Gekwa being a humanoid, but So I'm really excited to see what they do with that one. Also, what they do with what is it? How do they pronounce? Is it Brout or Bout or something like that? The grass bird one. And I do want to see what they do with the Pomeranian. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Well, Joe, I mean, to be honest with you, man, at some point now, whether it's 2027, 2028, 2030, 2035, eventually there's going to be a slowdown in the market. There's going to be a correction in the market. The market's not going to stay hot forever and ever and ever. Um, but I think what it allows you to do, setting some money aside, it allows you to say, 2020, was it 2028, Destin Rivals fixing to go out of reprint. Let's say somehow we don't get any booster boxes at that time. We don't get any booster boxes, period. And the booster boxes are sitting at $1,000. Well, then you can go and buy it at $1,000 and you've had that money set aside available to be able to use that. So I think there's all kinds of different plays that can be done with setting aside some money for sure. And there'll always be better stuff. Ascended Heroes, you know, Chaos Rising, the mega race set, um, 30th anniversary. If it's any good, who knows what it's going to do, you know. But like I know a bunch of people are saying they're not buying any of these sets until Mega Rayquaza and 30th anniversary. So there's all kinds of different options that can be done. Yeah, Blood. I think that's really smart. I think a lot of people recently they're just buying to buy. They don't even like what they're buying. They don't even know why they're buying what they're buying. They're just literally like, oh, you know, here's a Journey Together booster bundle. I don't like Journey Together. I think Journey Together's ass, but it's the only Pokemon product I can find. Let me go ahead and pick that up. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Like for me personally, I really like Journey Together. I think Journey Together will surprise some people far down the line, but I'm not picking up booster bundles of it. I think booster bundles will at some point could be the next like closest thing to a booster box. But I really think booster bundles are going to come into play and really do great for you on specialty sets. So your ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs, and then booster bundles, I think are going to that's kind of where the play would be. So for me, for Journey Together at this point, it's going to be Pokemon Center ETBs, and booster boxes. Brout. Gotcha. You might be losing money not keeping sealed product. I thought that your goal was going for an ETB of every set. I mean, that's fine. Like again, if your goals, you can always switch your goals. That's people's favorite thing to say on YouTube is, "Oh, I can't change my mind. I can change my mind." And but I mean, I think it's important to have like a goal. Like, what is your goal? If it's ETBs, then collect ETBs. If you just don't enjoy it, because I personally don't enjoy sealed product. For the most part, I'll come home and I'll look at my Japanese Destin Rivals Gloria Team Rocket booster box, and I enjoy it. But it's the singles that I look at every single day. I go through my stack. I need to get a binder, and we'll do a video at the end of this year going through the binder because I think there's going to be good opportunities to pick up some good singles, and I'm excited for that. And I'll still pick up some singles, but you know that's really where my love for the hobby is in the actual cards that make up the sets, not just the box, especially brown boxes. I don't know how people look at their brown boxes and just goon over it all the time. That would be a miserable existence to come home and look in your room and just see brown boxes stacked to the ceiling and go, yeah, that makes me happy. So Like I'll probably be picking up that Dragalge. I'll probably be picking it up this week, more than likely. I think 20 to 25 bucks is a pretty good price point for it, especially with it being in America. You can get it a little bit cheaper from Japan, but it's like apples to oranges at that point. So but I think it's a great price point. I really do. So I'm very excited to be picking that up. Brown boxes only work as thrones. Yeah. 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 You gotta be a big PokeTuber LGS online store to show off your brown boxes. But I'll tell you what, I came across a short today of DJ's Poke Center, and he was showing cases, and people really enjoy looking at those cases. I don't know why, but they do. Yeah, yeah. I'm really interested in what they're gonna do with Brout because it is like Angry Birds, 110%. I just wonder how they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna keep that look or if they're gonna change it because we've already got like a Blaziken, and Combustion. So what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with it? I hope they don't turn into like some fat bird though. You know, there's a lot of interesting stuff, but well, like nothing new. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah. No, I know. Trust me. Brandon, I've been preaching greed since day one. You know, and now you hear people talk about how greedy the market is, how greedy everybody is. Danny Phantom just made a video yesterday talking about greed, and it's like, or is anyone surprised at this point, or are any of us just really confused on why that's happening? Yeah, I saw one of your most recent shorts, which your shorts are doing relatively well, it seems, which is great for you. You're doing fantastic compared to how my channel has performed, doing shorts and taking breaks. But I saw your video, your short that you made talking about vintage and how you wish that Pokemon would do a remake of only vintage cards. I think that's actually a really cool idea. And I know that some people have talked about that and kind of wish the same thing. I just feel like we're too far gone into the hobby. t- that would not, I don't think, perform very well, even if they put in a bunch of remakes, like Crystal Lugias and Shining Charizards and Shining Gyarados, Shining Tyrantars. Like, I feel like people don't appreciate those cards for what they are. It's got to be we got to have full art cards. They got to be the whole entire card's got to be filled out and stuff like that. So I think it's a really cool idea though, for sure. And at the end of the day, you need to find what makes you happy. And if vintage cards makes you happy, it's difficult because Logan Paul just came back in. There's the whole vintage boom. Vintage cards are more expensive, but even if you think about it, like there's base set cards, they're non-hollows, but there's base set cards that are relatively affordable. So you just got to pick and choose. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they'll all get fixed, Brandon. At the end of the day, like you say, the cat's out of the bag with the money at this point. But I don't think it's always going to be that way. I think that eventually we'll have people that appreciate the cards, and you'll always have that money aspect, right? You'll always know what the card's valued at. But when the prices drop down, when we get to more of a calm level, I think that people will actually appreciate the art a lot more when the card is $150 instead of this card's $1,000. And like people like Lechonk, making videos about card appreciation and or specific Pokemon. Like I think that's a really good thing for the hobby. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that. It's just one of those things people don't care about right now, currently as it stands. People say they do, but actions speak louder than words. Tag team definitely what everybody is drilling for. Yeah, I think some tag team remakes would be really cool. I really selfishly, I hope that we get some legend remakes or even brand new legend cards in the 30th anniversary. If that's what they're doing with the 30th anniversary. I don't think it is. I think it was more of like a glorification for what they've accomplished and what they've done over all the years because there's all the different languages. Unless they're saying, hey, we're doing remakes again, this is what we're doing, and all the languages, every different language is going to come out on the same exact day, which is a possibility. But I really like the legend cards. So I if that's what they're going to do, they're just going to do a bunch of remakes. Even if they do awesome remakes, let's do it. But I'm really looking forward to like legend cards being a thing again because I think they're really cool. I think they're something that's really slept on. Yeah, Joe. In my video that I've got, I just got to get it edited. I think that and Joe, also check out LeChonk's message right above yours because they brought up a good point that you can get damaged cards. They look better, and also just get like binder copies. They don't have to be near mint, and they're more affordable. But in the video, I was talking about every single bull run. I feel like the floor for the bear market gets raised, so you never like go back to how things are. I don't think in the a bear market or a correction, however you want to phrase it, I don't think we're going to see $80 booster boxes or 60 or $70 booster boxes like we did before. I think the floor got raised and we're probably going to see maybe at the lowest $80. But other than that, it's going to be like 90, 100, 110, $120 for booster boxes. So I think with that being said, card value is going to go up as well. So instead of seeing your top chase card, like we saw in Scarlet and Violet before the bull market at like $150, once things settle down, we may see chase cards like the Zygarde, or not the Zygarde, the Zekrom from Black Bolt or the Reshiram sitting at like 170, 200, and that is the floor for those cards. I can see that really being a possibility. I think that's what happens every single time we go through a cycle is you never go back to how things were. It always gets elevated some. You're just banking on 30th? Yes, thank you. Welcome. Welcome to my side. Welcome to my side. You in the what do they call it? The hyperbolic chamber. Everyone's saying how good 30 is going to be. Poncho Pikachu's and tag teams and all these Grail card remakes. What gives that mindset? We're swimming against the stream, but I think it's always best to assume like these sets probably aren't gonna be good. Like everyone's banking on Mega Rayquaza set. Well, who knows what the Mega Rayquaza set is going to be? I think it'll probably be a good set. I think they'll probably do really good with the artwork, but they may not. They may not. They may do like a Starmie for a Mega Rayquaza. Yeah, it's still going to do good, but it's not going to do great. Or they could go balls to the wall and just drop an absolute nuke on everybody, and everyone's already expecting that. So I think it's always good to be a little bearish instead of bullish on these sets. Jodo Jake, I don't think Jodo Jake has any like inside information or anything like that. Um, I don't know what Jodo Jake does to have as much money as he does, but yeah, I think that was, for a while tag teams were blowing up. Tag teams were going to be the next thing. He probably bought into a bunch of tag teams, and then he was talking to his California bros, and decided that was probably the play. I do think there's some insider information for sure. I think that some of these bigger content creators, they're a part of groups, and even Nostalgianomics talked about in his video today that he's a part of groups with like big content creators, and they talk about buying out certain products, certain sets. That's something that he said in his video. So, are they, are the bigger content creators potentially pumping and dumping stuff? Yeah, I mean, I think that's more than likely. But is anybody surprised by that? They tell you in their videos all the time. Yeah, for sure. Like that's the thing. Like blood. I just want to like Choo Choo Flamingo. He commented on my live yesterday about Darkrai, and I was like, well, how do you feel about Mega Darkrai? And I was like, by the way, good seeing you. I haven't seen you around in a while. And he said, yo, I'm surprised that you even like remember me. I'm like, I tell you guys all the time, I want to have a community of people where you all feel like I care about you guys and you guys care about me. So, yeah, if you come around to a couple of videos, I'm going to remember when you stop showing up, how long you stopped showing up for. And if you come back, I'll be like, hey, you know, yeah, I do that with Thomas. I do that with Thomas. Thomas, he comments on every video, and I'm still like, "What's up, man? Hope you and your family are doing great." I comment on every single one of Lambo's videos because I'm trying to help him out. I'm trying to let him know that people are watching him and seeing him. I think that's the right thing to do. But like at the end of the day, I want to have a community where people care about each other to a certain extent, and we're there for each other. So, like, that's what I'm trying to build. Okay, so you're sticking to like evolutions. Well, the problem with evolutions is I think evolutions is the closest thing you can get to like base set because it doesn't have the 20th, 25th stamp or anything like that. However, it's you are limited. There's more hollows than like your base set, but it still doesn't have everything like a base set does to the same extent. So, but again, find what you like. If you decided, hey, I like ETBs, the ETBs don't work for you, you don't like sealed, you don't like looking at them, they do nothing for you, find something else. If it's vintage right now, that's fantastic. There needs to be more people that give vintage a voice and show off how great these cards are. And then if you change your mind and you go back to opening up packs, that's great. Like as long as you're honest and not taking advantage of people, I think that's the best thing to do. But obviously, find what makes you happy and continue to do that. That is what's most important, in my opinion. People submit through them. I've only heard of a couple people submitting through Jodo Jake, but I don't. I've had one interaction with Jodo Jake. He came into the chat on a live like a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And that's the only conversations I've ever had with Jodo Jake. I don't watch his content. I don't even know if he still is uploading. I know for a while he was slowing down on his uploads. I know Henry was using him for PSA submissions, but now Henry has been submitting his own through PSA. So, you know, at the end of the day, here's the thing. Everyone has everyone is trying to market themselves. Everybody is trying to make as much money as they possibly can. Everyone's got a narrative, they got a reason for their narrative. I tell you guys the truth. I don't have a narrative besides just don't overpay for shit. But at the end of the day, like if you do, you do. Like it's your life to live. Thomas overpaid and went to Game Scalp and bought an ETB, and that was it. Like he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. But I don't make any money from this, and if I ever do, I've told you guys if you see me building my collection, call me out. I just want to do it for giveaways. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I try to be as transparent as humanly possible with you guys. Sometimes probably way too transparent, but I feel like that's the right thing to do. That's what you guys come to enjoy. You know, dude. I'll tell you, I've met some not people like Kim Kardashian. Well, I've met people that are probably more popular and well known than Kim Kardashian. She is pretty popular though. I've met some celebrities. They're just normal people. There's nothing. There's nothing different about them. Like once you meet one, you've met them all. And I'll tell you what, 90% of the time, they're jackasses. So, like, it's just one of those things. Like, as a vendor, yeah, you probably take a picture, be like, hey, Kim Kardashian and Steve Aoki came by and bought cards, but so what? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But I get what you're saying for sure. Yeah, but I mean, the same thing. A lot of what's going on with the vintage people, it's Logan Paul. It brings back hype, but they're going to dump those cards too. Um, I'm not. I'll be honest. For me, I'm not super into vintage. There are definitely some vintage cards that I would like to have, but they're all mostly like the higher end chase cards that you think of back in the day. I just move on, man. Like even with Destin Rivals and stuff like that, like what I love at Destin Rivals, what I love in Evolving Skies, what I love all this stuff. Yes, but there's always other opportunities, especially if you hear and there's been this narrative going around that Pokemon is just getting started. Like when you think about it, it's only been 30 years since Pokemon has been around. Well, Disney is celebrating their 100th anniversary. So think about what is going to happen if Pokemon is around for 70 years. You're not even going to be in the hobby. Your kids may not even be in the hobby. Your grandkids will probably be in the hobby. You're like your great grandkids. Um, there's always other things, man. You can't worry about the mistakes you made in the past. Live, learn from them, move forward, use those to make better decisions. And if you don't move forward, if you don't make those better decisions, then you're just a dumbass and you deserve whatever happens. If you miss out on the next Evolving Skies, then you miss out, But I don't know. People can say that's the same thing with FOMO. That's why you got to buy into shit. For sure. For sure. And it's not even vintage though, Thomas. It's also you're ultra modern. You had that Chinese company that came in not too long ago, and they bought. I think their goal was to buy a quarter of all Van Gogh Pikachu PSA 10, so they can control the market. So it's not just vintage. Vintage is easier to control 100% because there's way less of those cards out there, and there's way less of PSA 10s or nines or eights or whatever out there. You just got to move forward. You got to think, in 30 years, if you're 40 right now, you'll be what, 70? What you have right now will be considered vintage at that time. Yes, there will probably be way more of your vintage than vintage, but it's still all the same thing. You just keep moving forward. Hey, you haven't been there in a year? Yeah, but didn't you just go there? Or I'm pretty sure you just went to GameStop and got an ETB, right? Okay, yeah. Like I said, Brandon, I don't watch a lot of Jono Jake. I think he makes really great content as far as the editing, uh, but it's not for me. I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of this YouTube content creations. I'll watch Cardinal. I will try to hear what Pokey Plumber has to say, and I will also watch the Card Lounge. I can't stand Robo Skills, but I do like, the hour and a half podcast style that they do. So I do listen to that. I really don't like either of them, to be fair, but Joe to Jake's fine. Robo is just kind of stupid, in my opinion, but people think I'm stupid. So see, I really want, and I've talked to you about this, Brandon. I want a Van Gogh Pikachu. I think it's a really cool card. Um, but I think it's going for like 3K right now in a PSA 10. There's 50,000 out there that are like, well, 50,000 might be an exaggeration, but there's definitely at least like 25,000 PSA 10s out there. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, there's more people that would want that card than what is in a PSA 10 or raw or whatever. It just, that's stupid to me. It was a promo. There's a shit ton of them out there. 3 grand for that card is extremely stupid. And I think, people are going to have to learn. People are going to have to learn, and unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get burnt and bent over. And I just hope that they're prepared for it. And a lot of people aren't. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Again, Thomas, like I said, I, you went and I just gave you that like a little stupid thing, but I wasn't mad or anything like that. It's your life, man. You know. Yes, I made videos saying that if you buy, you're contributing to the problem. You're part of the problem. One person can make a difference, but you gotta make your own decisions. I don't. I'm not going to change the world. That's for sure. Robo Skills is a fool. Yeah, the homeboy. He definitely does promotions. TikTok. Um, he like hardly uploads. He hardly uploads. Actual long form content, and when he does, nobody watches it. Um, but you can tell he definitely thinks he's smart, and I don't. I think he's a weirdo for sure. Like Jodo Jake, I don't think he's a weirdo. I think he's just extremely arrogant. But Robo he's special for sure. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, do I want to listen to Robo for an hour and a half? No, but if I'm working or driving, it's not a bad listen for sure. There was a lot of bad juju with the Van Gogh. What's up, Blab? How are you, bud? I was mad at yourself. Well, why did you go into the store then? Thomas, I've told you, man. And I could be wrong, but again, y'all, everybody makes their own decisions. Everybody makes their own decisions, decides what they want to do. Yeah, could you make a smart play? Absolutely. Could I mean technically you're up what $5 after taxes on your ETB you bought from GameStop? Could we never see ETBs get reprinted? Could we never see ETBs drop below $100? We could. There's a possibility. Do I think it's extremely unlikely? 110%. But at the same time, if you listen to Investor Bros, which I know, Thomas, you're not like a full blown investor, you're like an investor collector. Dollar cost average, hold for 5 years, and you'll be fine. From what I've seen from your collection, you can hold for 5 years. You'll be able to make that money. So, would I do it? No. But if you're not on YouTube making content about MSRP or retail, because right now there's really is no such thing as MSRP besides from Pokemon Center. Um, it's really retail. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. That's for sure. Was funny that whole Burger Chew situation. Some idiot paid, I think it was like $50,000 or $30,000 for a Beckett Black Label, and there that Burger Chew. is the number one most graded card of all time. I'll tell you what, Roxy, depending on how many of those Van Goghs, which I know you said you're not selling, I'm just giving you my thoughts real quick. If you have a decent amount, I don't know how many you have, but right now is not a bad time to sell. At least one. I think they're going for what, $500, something like that. Uh, that's pretty good off of what, $25 you have to spend on the Pokemon Center to get one. That's what I would personally do. I would absolutely make sure that I had like one or two. But if you have more than that, make that money. Move it into another case of Destin Rivals, or hold on and get a case of, uh, the Mega Rayquaza set or 30th anniversary. I'm just kidding. I would not buy anything. Look what 25th is doing. Look what 25th is doing. So when people want to compare 25th anniversary to Generations, when you look at what Generations is doing, two completely different sets. Two completely different sets. One is complete dog shit. The other one is mediocre at best. Definitely collector. I mean, you couldn't have gotten two at the same price though, unless you got it from. No, you couldn't have, because there is no store currently selling ETBs, normal ETBs, under $60. So you could have gotten one and three quarters for the price that you paid, but you couldn't have gotten two. Fingers crossed for chaos on Monday. Absolutely, yeah. Whack is saying Tuesday. From everything he's seeing, Tuesday. I definitely think that we will probably get it Monday or Tuesday. I don't think we're gonna get it at the end of the week. We normally don't with the drops. They're normally beginning of the week. So just be on the lookout. Obviously, if you're part of the Discord, me or Whack, mostly Whack, is going to notify you guys. But if I see anything, I'll let you guys know. And hopefully we're all able to hit. Hopefully next Friday we load up alive and it's nothing but W's. People were able to get ETBs, booster boxes, whatever you're going for. I hope you guys are able to get it. Even Snack Bread. I don't know if Snack Bread's in here. I don't even know if I can't remember if he was in here earlier, but hopefully he's able to hit. TCG Market Data is able to hit. I think it's going to be a really fun set. Chaos Rising is absolutely stupid. What a moron! Who's a moron? You have seven sealed ones. Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. I would definitely sell off on at least two of them. That's like I said. I think they're going for like 500 right now. That's $1,000. I mean, if you paid $25, $50, you were up ridiculous amount of money. And I don't know. I think there's definitely going to be a correction with Van Gogh Pikachu's when we correct. Is that a show? Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. I remember I watched a video from Henry, and he was going for some, I believe it was Sword and Shield, or it may have not been. It may have been some Scarlet and Violet, but he was going for some booster boxes, and the dude had some, but it was only for display purposes. And it's like, why are you bringing that? The whole point of a card show is to have product or cards to sell to people, not to go, hey, look at my 500 Van Gogh Pikachus or my 500 Evolving Skies. I feel like that should be a rule. If you bring something, it's for sale. Now, if you want to price it at $1,000 for a Van Gogh Pikachu, then price it at $1,000. But they should not have NFS. When I used to go to reptile shows, everything at the reptile show was for sale. Now, some of the snakes or lizards could have been double the price that you're going to pay online, but everything was for sale. 25th is cheeks. Don't care. I agree. 25th is bad for sure. It's usually Monday or Tuesday. Yes, sir. I think Destin Rivals wasn't Destin Rivals on a Friday though. I think we got Destin Rivals on a Friday. The ETBs look amazing, and I love the booster box. I wish it was blue. I think they really dropped the ball on that. But I love how for the label, the name of the set, Chaos Rising, it's got the waves crashing behind it. I think that's a really awesome touch that they did. Yeah, jumbo cards are cool, and some of them can be quite valuable as well. So don't sleep on them. I've got a couple jumbo cards. I don't even care anything about them. They just came back in the day, where you got the promo and then the jumbo card promo, and they're like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Some of them are. My strategy is just to go for ETBs on Pokemon or Pokemon Center for Chaos. That's surprising, Adriel. I thought you would have gotten a booster box. Are you just trying to keep your how much you spend down, or kind of what's your plan for that? Yeah. Was it? I thought it was more than 20K, Brandon, but I could have been wrong. You could be right. Yeah, for sure. A lot of people don't like the jumbo cards. Flexors get robbed where I come from. Always gonna stay on your toes. Absolutely, dude. If you're gonna bring, and I don't agree with it. I don't think anybody should be getting robbed. But if you're gonna bring super expensive stuff, I mean, it's just how it is right now. I would not be, to be honest, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I was a vendor, if I would really vend right now, because it's just crazy. People, especially like I've heard in California, people are having walking buddies and going from car to car to car to make sure people don't get robbed and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy what's happening. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. There needs to be some security. Keeping the spend low and staying realistic. So Adra, are you keeping the spend low because you're wanting to allocate it somewhere else, like the Mega Rayquaza set or 30th anniversary, or are you kind of just trying to be more financially responsible with the potential of what could happen with the market? Or if you don't want to answer that question, don't answer the question. You can do, again, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just interested on, or maybe do you not like Chaos Rising? Because I know Blab in here, he shit on Chaos Rising. He did not like it whatsoever. But I think it's awesome set. I really do. The kid up in Nashville was vending and got robbed for $45,000. Dude, that would suck. Could you imagine getting $45,000 worth of shit taken from you? Am I surprised though? Like Nashville, dude. Thomas, I don't know if you ever go to Nashville. Even like you could have a really nice hotel right next to a homeless encampment. You know, Nashville is sketchy. I don't feel comfortable in Nashville most of the time. That I'm always like double looking, making sure a homeless person's not coming behind me, smack me with a pipe or piss on me or shit on me or something like that. So two briefcases would be smart for sure. Or have one have the I don't know. I would say have one handcuffed to your arm, but they'd probably just cut your arm off at that point. Oh, I didn't know that. People are following vendors home. That is crazy. Smart, smart, Adro. Super smart. Oh, you're only 30 minutes away from Nashville. Cool. Yeah, I'm in Nashville 3, 5 days a week. So, or Franklin or Brentwood, Belmead, around the Nashville area. So, every now and then I'll go to the vending machines and there's nothing. There's nothing. I was hoping to get a couple more 151 bundles. Just strike out. I'm not surprised though. Yeah, but here's the thing, Brandon. People don't know you, like what you have, but you can get into whatever you want to. Like if you wanted to, and I know you have um I'm trying to be careful what I say because I don't want to just give out information about what you own or don't own, but there is nothing out there that you can't get your hands on at this point with what you have, if that makes sense. Adro, how has your luck been with Walmart? Because I know for a while it seemed like you were hitting on Walmart quite frequently, and then you disappeared for a little bit. So I'm just curious if you've still had good luck or if it's been brutal for you too. I'll be honest, I don't think. Well, here, let me ask this, Thomas, if you're still in here, because it says there's only four people in the live now. If you're still in here, Thomas, how did GameStop look with the Ascended Heroes ETBs? Because I haven't stepped foot in GameStop. I have no desire to. I guess I probably could to go take a look at my area. I feel like at $95, they're probably not sitting at GameStops for the most part because people think that it's the next Prismatic. They think that if you look at Prismatic never really dropped below 90. So it's pick it up, you know? That would be my thought process behind it. And it's just like with the Charizard UPCs, people were complaining about them being at 180. Well, now that Charizard's at 180, if you can go into your GameStop and pick out the box, why wouldn't you? You know? So yeah, people are pissed until the prices get to that point. Nice. Nice. They had a whole bunch of Phantasmal Flames UPCs. Yeah. I'm a little surprised at that. I guess people are trying to wait and see what's going to happen with the Charizard UPCs. I also don't know what GameStop's selling them for. Are they selling? Have they raised up the prices? I know that last night, Whack and a couple other people were talking about GameStop had raised up the prices. Oh, it's over 200. Well, yeah. I mean, then it just doesn't make any sense. Now, when the Charizard UPC is at 200 or 220, it, people are going to buy them up from GameStop. But right now, it just doesn't make sense for them to do that. So I think, uh, I mean, if that's what it is at GameStop, if it's $95 at GameStop right now, I think people are going to pay it because that's below market. It's not much below market, but it's still below market. And people think, again, Ascended Heroes is Prismatic 2.0. And people are now saying, which I agree with, that Ascended Heroes is better than Prismatic Evolutions. So if Prismatic was sitting at 120, why won't Ascended Heroes sit at 130, 140, 150? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I feel like Ascended Heroes is going to, people are just going to buy it up. Yeah. I mean, GameStop will learn eventually, right? At some point, the market's going to cool down and they'll just keep bringing it down, bringing it down, bringing it down until people buy. And then that's what they're going to go for. Uh, Ludwig, you said something about someone's really down to earth. I don't see anything where you were talking about that beforehand. So I don't, maybe a part of your message didn't send or something like that. I just want to let you know. Well, you also don't know the thing though is Blab, you don't know how much bundles GameStop is getting. Maybe GameStop with the reprints and stuff like that, maybe they got a crap ton of the bundles. So they can't go for market because they don't want them to sit for a very long time. You know, Uh, the difference between GameStop and some of these LGSs or online stores is GameStop really needs to churn and burn. Some of these LGSs and stuff, they don't need to churn and burn. They can afford to sit on product. So I think that's what it comes down to. If they got smoked by distro, just absolutely hammered by distro with bundles, they've got to go below market on those to try to get rid of them. And if people say no, here's the thing: I think GameStop's what doing like $65 a bundle right now. If people don't buy them, they got to keep going down in price. So that's just all of this can be fixed. Even with the rip and shippers at all-time highs, Logan Paul coming in, doing his $16.5 million, all this can be fixed if people just don't buy. But majority of people are going to buy right now. The Umbreon and Sylveon do save that set. I agree. The Palafin's really cool though. I really do like that Palafin from Prismatic, but I know a lot of people don't. That's just me personally. Year 151 for $75. Yeah, absolutely. GameStop's going to GameStop. Yeah, I need to take a look at the bundles. Did the bundles for Prismatic get hit at all with the Sam's drop that we had? I would assume probably not, due to the fact that the bundle did not come with plastic. Exactly. Exactly, Brandon. 100%. Yeah, dude, I can't, I don't know if it's dumb or not. I can't buy a bundle at $65. I, I didn't buy any of my 151. All the 151 bundles that I acquired, which wasn't a lot, they were all $30 from GameStop before GameStop did all their scalping bullshit that they were doing. I can't pay for two bundles for the price of one. I don't care if it's the best set of all time. I just don't care. It's not that deep for me. But I know you know, you've made it very clear you're flipping and so it's just for me it's when I say I'm going to do something I do something, I do it. So it's like a stubbornness morale thing that I've got to do. Oh yeah, I mean GameStop eventually with the correction in the bear market, GameStop's going to have to kiss some feet for sure. They're going to have, because you know what they're going to do, right? They're not going to instantly drop down prices. So if we have like a really hard correction, which a lot of people have been saying we will have eventually, it's not going to be a steady decline. It's going to be like one day we are sitting at the top and all of a sudden it's just like the ass fell out and people are like, what is happening? I woke up today and this is down 40%, this is down 60%, this single is down 70%, hypothetically speaking, not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. And GameStop's going to go, okay, let's knock off $20. No, nobody's buying it. Let's knock off $30 until it's, you know, below below market, what below everything else. They're gonna have to learn the hard way. And I think GameStop really screwed people over. So they're gonna have to suffer for a little bit. At least I think so. Yeah, I mean, I right now in the current market, I think the most I would be willing to do on a bundle, and this is 151, this is Prismatic, Ascended Heroes, the Mega Rayquaza set, 30th anniversary, whatever the case may be. It could be the best set in the world. Right now, I think the most that I could realistically be willing to do is like $40 because if you buy them from Walmart, you're looking after taxes and shipping 35, $36. You can go pick it up at GameStop for a little bit more. But I personally, I it's gonna take me a while to have to go back to GameStop. Yeah, that would be the absolute like highest that I would go for a bundle, which bundles are not going for that. So, and it would have to be like something. Oh, you guessed it. Okay, I got you. I thought you were like questioning why I would buy it at $40. Yeah, that would be the highest, $40, and I would really have to think about it. But that's just me. Again, that's just me. But I'm also in no rush either. Like Blab. I don't know if he's still in here or not, but Blab, he's almost treating his collection. This is gonna sound wrong. I'm not trying to make it sound wrong. I'm just gonna say it. He's churning and burning, kind of like a business, like an LGS, where he buys and then it appreciates and then he sells off on it, and then moves it into something else, whether it's a card or something else, something coming up. And I don't really have necessarily a problem with that. Especially right now. I think this year, make the money while you can make the money for sure. I mean, don't be a scumbag, don't be a piece of shit, but take some profits, sell off on some of the shit that has no reason to be in your collection. You don't care about it, you know? Um, so yeah, like for him it's completely different. I'm holding on to my shit, what I buy for years and years and years and years and years because it's for my kids. Like I said, I'll be, the next bear run or the next bull run. Well, I probably load up during the bear market and with the plans of trading into something else, absolutely. But for the most part, I'm not churning and burning. This is not a business. So, like, I'm trying to be very just patient, methodical with what I'm doing. And I think Blab's doing the same thing. He's being methodical about it. He's probably being smarter than I am, but we just have two different outlooks on it, which is fine. What's up, Whack? How are you, bud? Yeah, churn and burn. Even he admits it. Churn and burn. Grab a collection piece every now and then. Yeah, Brandon, I still have no idea what you're going to do with your collection. Like, what is the game plan for your collection? Because I know we've talked about it, and you're like, I'll eventually sell out of it. Maybe not all of it, but like to retire and stuff like that. But I don't believe you. Like, I truly don't believe you. I think that you just won't sell, and then it's like, well, where's it going to go? I could be wrong. I hope you take profits from it eventually. I hope you retire early from it and you get to enjoy your life. And but like you're one of those people that's like, I'll sell eventually, and you just won't. Gotcha. You probably won't. You probably won't be on here long. You just woke up. Well, what are you sleeping so late for? Or did you have to work or something? Well, shit. Are you gonna have an expensive funeral? I mean, you got some cards in your collection. Those could pay for a really nice funeral, and then all the rest of your stuff, your seal collection. I mean, I guess you could probably pay off the house at that point, or stuff like that. No, and I think that's awesome. I think we need more people like that in the hobby. That I mean, at the end of the day, here's the thing: we all look at Pokemon to a certain extent as money, 100%. But I also think there needs to be a love for why you're collecting it, or even if you're investing in it. Like, imagine spending your money into something that you just don't give a crap about. I think with stocks, it's different, right? Stocks and stuff like that, it's just something you feel like you have to do throughout your life to put back some money for the 40, 50 years that you have to work. Where this is something that we choose to do. This is something that for one reason or another draws us in. And I feel like a lot of people just don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't care about it. It's just to me that's extremely odd. That would be like me going into sports cards, and because sports cards, I can get a sports card for $50,000, but I don't care, anything about it. I don't care about Cooper Flag or Russell Wilson. I hate Russell Wilson, but his card's doing really well, so I need to have that so I can flip it. But all of that just baffles me. But I know it's a real thing. I know that it's something that happens all the time. I just don't understand it. I just fell asleep, woke up at 7 again. Only had 3 hours of sleep. Whack, what are you doing? What are you doing to only have 3 hours of sleep in like a 24-hour period? Pokeball shaped coffin. Yeah, just have Brandon's ass all rolled up. They uncover him in 100 years after he's been dead, and his dick's in his mouth because he's just all crushed up. Oh yeah, you should be around in 10 years. If I die, take it and sell it. Absolutely. That's what I mean. Yeah, or like have a good time. Like I told my wife, I told her if when I die, hopefully I die before she does. I told her I don't want a fancy funeral. Burn me. Tell them to stick me in a Ziploc bag. Take all that money you would have spent for a casket and a funeral service. I don't want a funeral service. I don't want all these people coming around. They're like, oh, your husband was a great man. And I've not talked to them in 5, 10, 15 years, doing all that bullshit. Take all that money, that extra $20,000, take me to Gatlinburg and just dump me in the mountains and get a really nice um, cabin with all my kids and my grandkids and great grandkids, whatever happens at the time, and just you guys have a week long party to it's paid for, because funerals and shit are a joke, man. They are. No offense to anybody who wants to have a proper funeral, but it's a fucking joke. You're paying for something that's going to deteriorate, and at the end of the day, you're just going to be ash. You're not even going to be bones. You're going to be ash, and I just think it's dumb, personally. And you pay ridiculous amounts of money for it. And then bury you in comic cards. Yeah, just stack a bunch of cards on me. I told my wife, honestly, what I told her, I said, if you can, just get a bunch of firewood and light me on fire, like how they used to do back, like in Roman days and stuff like that. And just do that. Take me out somewhere and light me on fire. Yeah, that's what it's about, Brandon, for sure. 100%. I did get a haircut. Yes, sir. I got a haircut and a beard trim. I was looking pretty ragged. Russell Wilson is on my shit list for sure. Yeah, yeah, I use him as an example. Ken Griffey Jr. would be pretty cool for sure. She's built different. Well, women always live longer than men for the most part because we're stupid. We make terrible decisions. We drink a lot. We use, just women are just they're just built to last longer. Put me in the ground, hell yeah. Yeah. I think they're more than that. You can get caskets that are 20,000. Viking funeral, absolutely. 100%. That's the way. If I could, you can't do that in America, unfortunately. But that's That's what I would have her do. What's up, Pablo? How are you, bud? How's the YouTube grind? You've been checking out Perfect Order. I saw you made a video today talking about Perfect Order. I didn't get to watch it yet. Anything I should know about? Oh, also, Pablo, are you going to go live this week for the Pokemon Center drop? Oh, yeah. That's about the only way that men live longer is their wives get something terrible happens to them or they get like breast cancer or something like that. But we all know we're all dudes in here, right? We're just more stupid. We do harder working jobs for the most part. Not being sexist, factual information. Um, we have more stress. We have more life stress, and we're not the best at handling it. So I think it's kind of a no brainer for the most part. At least 90% of men die before their significant other. I guess I got to be politically correct with that statement because it's not just women. It's you can have whatever partner you want, even if they what is it? Feel like they're a goldfish. You can have them. Not as making sense. Booster boxes, yeah. I mean, booster boxes are going back down though. They're going back down. They're 230. So if we can get them, if we can get them to 210 before they drop next week, then we stand an opportunity. We stand. I, I don't know, man. I think we could see very close to MSRP before the second wave of booster box hits. Might be wrong, but I was watching somebody, and I'm not gonna say who, but I was watching somebody today, and they were talking about the market, and they said that they're not surprised by perfect order, and that perfect order is going to continue to climb. And I think it's going to climb. I am surprised by perfect order, what perfect order is doing, regardless of a 15% cut in printing right now. But it is not a good pickup at 230, 250, $300. If that box hits $300, I don't know. The market's just lost it at this point. And I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Even if the market stays strong for 2 years, I don't see. I can't imagine that box being 300. Makes my ashes with my shirts. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I know some people do like rings and diamonds. I've heard of some widows having their husband's ashes turn into a diamond, and they wear the diamond everywhere they go. I mean, there's stuff like that, but I just think it's dumb. I know. No, I mean, my audience is 100% males, but you never really know. Um, so I'd rather just say if your partner identifies as a goldfish, you know, that's on you. I'm not going to give my beliefs or feelings on that. I'll let it speak for itself. Booster box. What does SF stand for? I mean, look at Phantasmal Flames. Phantasmal Flames is almost $340 a booster box. I'm not surprised. I called Phantasmal Flames when everyone was saying, "Oh, Phantasmal Flames is going to hit MSRP because the Charizard isn't that great." Um, Stuff like that, you know. Um, but would I have thought $340? No, I wouldn't have thought $340. So anyone picking up perfect order? What's up, Choo Choo? We were actually just talking about you earlier. Um, Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Pick up perfect order instead of Surging Sparks. Yeah, I mean, if the prices hold right, because Surging Sparks is what 260 a booster box, 265, 270 with shipping. Perfect order. I think perfect order is going to dip. I really do. I think perfect order is going to dip, and I don't think it's going to hold. It might hold at like 200. Uh, yeah, I can't see it being 250 a box anytime soon. Good to see you, by the way, Choo Choo. Yeah, so Pablo, the reason that I turned them on is because I saw that YouTube will actually hurt your channel if you have the option to be monetized or turn on members and you don't. So I still want my channel to try to grow and to be pushed. And so I just went ahead and turned on memberships. By the way, thanks, asshole, for saying something about it because I didn't want anybody to know. Of course, you would say something about it um, because I don't want anybody paying for it. So, yes, memberships are on. Do not buy, do not pay for it. That's the reason I did it was because I saw that YouTube will hurt your channel if you do not take their monetization when you can. So, don't buy it though. You will get no value whatsoever from paying anything. Yes, Phantasmal is very good. The IRs are really good for a little set. I mean, I think Chaos Rising has the best IRs for small sets, in my opinion. But I am being extremely biased by that, and I understand that. Hypothetically, would I buy a prismatic booster box for 360? No, not right now. I would not be buying a box for 360. I think you could pay a little bit more and get a Silver Tempest. There's a lot of things that I think you could do differently. No, do not. No, this is why I didn't say shit to you guys. No, you will not pay for it. Surging is a better set value wise and looks better displayed. I agree 100%. 100%. And yes, according to Whack, it is the greatest set ever. 100%. It's outperforming Ascended Heroes as far as with the Pokemon Center ETBs. Oh, you guys are fucking crazy. No, you dickheads. Why are you doing this? Pablo, you suck. You know that? You really fucking suck. You guys are not getting. What is all this shit? I can't. Oh, you did all the things. What level of cigars do I smoke? Cigars really don't have a level. This is a AJ Fernandez Decenio or something like that. Yeah, Decenio. So I really like the spicier cigars for me. So AJ is really good. Okay. Hey, you know what? You guys, yeah, go enjoy the memberships, and whenever I can take out money, whatever the money is, I'll keep you guys updated. we'll do a giveaway with whatever it is. We'll do a, you know what we'll do? While Pablo's in here, we'll do an ink blot Pablo inspired stream where we'll say, hey, this is how much I've gotten from the memberships and whatever you crazy guys want to do for super chats, and we'll pick a product, we'll do a poll, and then we'll do a giveaway for it. You guys are crazy. More use than TRJ's Discord. Well, he doesn't even have a Discord anymore. Buy another turkey? I can't, because so in the state I live in, Kentucky, obviously, you have to get 6 birds. So I'd have to get 6 turkeys. I told my wife I want to get more turkeys, but I don't think she'd go for it. But turkeys are cheap. They're only a couple bucks. You have to get 6 of them, and I live in the city limits, so I can only have so many birds. Gold chain with diamond turkey. Hell yeah! I need to order one. I need to look on Amazon and see if I can get one for Adam and put that in the video. Yeah, his Discord is hidden behind a paywall. Yeah, it's $20 or whatever his membership is. I don't know what memberships he has available anymore, but he did go ahead and specify that if you're a member, you have to send him a message on Instagram, and that'll get you into the Discord. So I guess he saw maybe my video I made. Turkeys are awesome. I love my turkey. Yeah, y'all join. That's what we're gonna do. Like I said, I'm not any. I've gotten everything I need, so I am not all this money you guys give. Then that's you guys will get rewarded with it. So I don't do this for money. Her broke doing consultation calls on the DL. Yeah, man, you got to $20. I'm undercutting everybody, and you know what? I think I'm I think I'm pretty smart. I think a lot of the things that I say are starting to come to fruition. So, am I going to get everything right? No, but do I know what I'm talking about? I think so. Broke should do call from the Discord. Well, you guys get enough of me. I don't. That's the thing. I don't like. I I don't know. You guys know. I don't like pumping stuff. Um, and we do lives for hours a week. We did a 3 hour, 3.5 hour live yesterday. We're already hour and 20 minutes in on this live. We'll probably go for 2.5 hours. I'll eat dinner again at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Try to get a video out. So it's like, how much do you guys want of me? I feel like you guys are gonna get bored of me eventually from all the content. Yeah, I mean, again, I understand. Like people say that shit all the time, you know, that they're for the community, and then they turn around, they're not. I understand. I have to prove everybody wrong, but I'm not worried about it. You know, you guys will not. You guys will not see a collection grow from me, and I don't give back to the community. That's just retarded. No, I don't. Again, that's why I didn't say anything. I don't know how Pablo even knows about the membership because, yeah, that was the only reason that I did it was because they're like, if you have to, if you don't turn it on YouTube, they'll think that like you don't want to grow and stuff like that. So they'll fuck with your channel. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'm trying to have my channel grow because I want to get to 1,000. And so I was like, well, I'll turn it on, and I set it to 99 cents because that was the cheapest that you could do. And I didn't set up any other levels because there's no reason to have any other levels. So I appreciate all the donations and the memberships. Cancel them next month. Don't repay for them. I don't want you guys to give me any money. I'm doing this because it's fun, and you, like I said, you guys honestly give me more than what I give you guys. So it would be hella hilarious. Well, here's the thing. So we were talking about Tricia, we were talking about nostalgianomics earlier because I know this is surprising, but he came out, in my opinion, with a very decent video today. And if you listen to him lately, he's been saying that he takes all these consultation calls with all these big people, all this liquid money, all these millionaires that have just money to blow like crazy, right? Well, in the video he came out with today, he's like, this money is going to dry up. This eventually, this money is not going to be sloshing around. So, the long story short, he's hearing things and seeing things that are a little concerning to him, which I'm not surprised. I've been calling that for a while, that we're going to see a narrative switch in the hobby for sure. Agree. Great point, Whack. I will set that up tonight. I will switch it from, well, I don't know, Pablo, can you switch around your memberships? But yeah, I mean, dude, all these people that do consultation calls, they all say the same thing. You know, put it in 151, put it in Paldean Fates, put it in Prismatic Evolutions. Well, now they're saying don't put it in 151. Everyone is saying that 151 is a trap. Don't put it in 151 anymore. But they'll say Destined Rivals. They're gonna say the Mega Rayquaza set. They're gonna say Sword and Shield. But Evolving Skies, like it's all the same shit. So I appreciate that, Plab. I mean, hey, y'all, you guys give me watch hours. We have a good time. I think everybody has a good time for the most part. I get to smoke some cigars. Like, it's a win-win situation for me. No, I want to get 200K collection at some point, and I will. It's just going to take time of house money. Not necessarily house money. Right now, I'm putting in house money because I had to restart, right? But eventually I'll get there in your life when they turn 18, which I think is really cool. I didn't get that when I turned 18. And so I think that to give them the opportunity to have a good nest egg when they get on their own, because I also don't want my kids living in my house when they're 19, 20, 21, 22. Like, it's kind of like 18, go to college, learn something, get out, you know? Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that that'd be really cool. I wish I had that when I was 18. Yeah, yeah, Choo Choo. Check out his video that it just came out today. I thought it was a pretty good video. Well, if I can, I will switch it to the highest amount humanly possible for memberships, and nobody pay for them, please. Buy what you like, absolutely. Until assholes come around gatekeeping. Hey, you know what? They they haven't been around since. I'm glad that they haven't been. Yeah, Whack. I'll be honest. I don't remember you saying that. Yeah, I actually do. I think I said 750, 800. Which isn't that what it came out to though when the set first came out? Wasn't it like 800, like $800 card? And then it's climbed up to 1,000? Yeah, absolutely. He did not. I don't. More than likely, he did not take profits. I don't think. I don't think a lot of people right now are taking profits on that because they're under the assumption that 151, especially anything 151, is going to just continue to climb and climb and climb, and it will. But I do think that a lot of people that know what's going on. I mean, even Pokey Gator, I was watching a live that he did the other day, and he was talking about a lot of content creators, a lot of the bigger YouTubers, the big money, they're actually liquidating out of their 151 because of just the extreme amount of price that it's done. I mean, the UPC went from a $800 UPC to $1,200 overnight. The the Pokemon Center ETB is what, 1,400, 1,600, $1,800 right now. Like where do we see the booster bundles going to? Essentially, what's the highest form that they can go to? 600, if that. I think 600 might be a stretch. You know, so I think 151 is it's going to take a while, and I do think we'll see some regression into 151. A lot of these people, though, a lot of these people on YouTube, they have literally came around 151, Surging Sparks, Paldean Fates, Destined Rivals, Ascended Heroes. They've come in, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They've heard the same shit for the last 2 years. Now they think they're a fucking genius. Trust me, when shit hits the fan, they're not going to be around making videos anymore. Or if they do, they're going to be eating their own humble pie for a while. Yeah, because what are they going for right now? Whack, almost 200. Yeah, I think if you can take profits and make your cost basis zero for however much or little product that you have, I think that's probably the smartest play because if you realistically, math wise, paid $0 for it, who cares if it goes down? You're still up. You know, I think that's really smart. But I have so little 151. I'm not. I'm just holding on to it. I've got three bundles. I've got three kids. They can have it when they turn 18. Whatever it's going for is what it's going for. You know, if it's going for $600 a bundle, then it's going for $600 a bundle. Yeah, dude, Brandon, 151's doing some stupid shit right now. So it's just continuing to climb. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, the war's still going on. We don't. Gas prices are continuing to climb. We have we have summer about to come around the corner. It'll be really interesting to see how the market reacts in the summertime. Do we go through the summer like we did last year and everything's just continuing to climb, or with the sets as in Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, the Darkrai set, do things kind of slow down? There's a lot of things up in the air. Now, of course, I expect with the Mega Rayquaza set that comes out, people are going to be hyped for that. Then we go into 30th anniversary. So if we do have a dip in the market, I think we will. It's going to be in the summertime, and will it be a good time to buy? I don't know. That'd be really interesting. I still feel like prices are going to be extremely inflated, even if we have a 20% correction in the market. Oh, you sold out of all your 151 blab? And you're going what? You're going into prismatic? Those blue and waters are the only problem with the blue and waters, they're extremely bulky. And so you really at some point have to just kind of take in the pack price for those. 10 bundles is awesome though. I think that they're I don't know. I I wanna hope that we get one last hurrah with 151. I just don't think that we're going to. I don't. I think that they gotta move on. They they might put some more prismatic out. I'm sure they will continue to put prismatic out, but I think it's pretty safe for Paldean Fates and 151 because you have to think on the Pokemon, what was it, Pokemon Day, when they did the 12, 14 SKU drop that they did really quick, like pretty instantaneous. So I feel like they don't have a lot of 151 product left. Also, they pulled it from the vending machines. So, I mean, I would love to get, could you imagine if we got a 151, e- Pokemon Center ETB reprint one last time? I think that would be amazing, but I don't see it happening. I hope I'm wrong though. Yeah, it's really going to depend on the 30th. If the 30th is crazy, if the 30th is crazy, like crazy good, the only thing is, I think, honestly, I feel like Pokemon has been printing 30th. Like I think they've gone heavy into 30th. I think they're going to try everything possible, especially with having the heads up, because we all know Pokemon prints like 9 months in advance. So they've known for a year and a half, actually almost 2 years, how crazy the market is. I think that they probably have printed a shit ton of 30th anniversary, and it's really just going to come down to how good it is. And then if we have that, Radiant Ruby Shining Sapphire that comes out in the beginning of 2027, that could keep the hype going. I'll be honest, I have very little faith in 30th anniversary. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. Oh, I think we hit the peak not too long ago. I think we're at the top, and we are. I feel like we're slowly, very slowly descending down. It's just to the point people haven't noticed it yet. Well, hey, you know what? You could sell off. I'm sure there's some profit you made from your prismatic figure collection or whatever else you sold off. You could buy one. The Alakazam box, what, 70 bucks? Well, I don't know what it is going for right now, but like a week or two ago, it was going for 70 bucks, something like that. So there's definitely that option to be able to pick it up still. 100%, Brandon. Right now, with everything inflation going on and gas going up, groceries are going to go up. People are going to have to make decisions, and it doesn't matter. People are they need that money. You know, don't play with money that you need for Pokemon, because this is, at the end of the day. Let's be honest. This is not something that any of us need to have. We don't need to have this. This is a luxury that we are buying. It's just like this cigar. I don't need this cigar, but I have the funds available. I'm making that decision to purchase the cigar and enjoy it. Yeah, you do have a great position with Paldean Fates, as well as 151. It seems like you have a pretty good position as well. Yes, that is true, Thomas. Danny Fanta made a video a couple weeks ago saying that the 151 mini tins were coming to distro. How much, how many, who knows what that's going to be. But as far as like your bundles, ETBs, I don't know. And even if we do, like, how are you going to get them unless you have a vending machine? Like, how are you going to get them at a reasonable price? Unless Pokemon just loads up on them. But you think that they would have done that for the Pokemon's 30th birthday? You would think that they would have put up a lot of the stock they had, and it just seemed like it got eaten up very, very, very quickly. Yeah, it could. Well, I mean, we're at a 50-50 shot right now of it either being good or it being mediocre ass. Yeah, I agree. 97.62. Okay, so that thing's climbed $30. I'm not surprised by that though. Wanted a stack of 100. Well, you're not going to get that, but I mean, you definitely, like I said, you definitely can at least pick up one. You pick up one at $100. How many packs does it come with? Like 4 packs. So it's probably not the most opportune time right now with everybody seeming to liquidate their 151. But if you just want to hold on to it for collection purposes, I mean, you see these tens that come with 4 packs. These tens can go for 200, $500, $1,000, depending on the 10, what it holds, the promos. And if as many people love 151 as they state they do, which I truly don't think that they do, those packs will one day be $100. You will 4x your money from that. That's crazy, Brandon. That's nuts. Yeah. Again, you know, you live and you learn. I'm gonna need you to keep me accountable, Brandon, because I think that's the most important thing is when we get to this correction, this bear market, whatever you want to call it again. I think that is the best time to try to keep everybody accountable and remember that even though you think this product is not good or this product is nobody cares for. You don't know. Like at a drop of a hat, this thing could blow up again. And that's really where you're going to make your money. You're not going to make your money right now flipping products for double the price. Like you're going to make your money paying $100 a booster box or $600 a case, maybe 650 a case. And it may not grow for a year, 2 years, 3 years, but then it will. And you're going to be glad that you picked up that case for 650, $700 when now it's going for 5K, like we've seen. That's where the that's where the wealth is really made, not right now. Prismatic, a third of the price of 151 is goofy. What are you talking about? A third of the price? You talking about for the bundles? It's not. I mean, here's the thing: is I do I say 151 is better than Prismatic? Probably. I think besides the God packs, I think a lot of people don't care about the evolutions. Besides the Umbreon, even Sylveon, some people don't talk about that too much. I would say 151 is bigger and better than Prismatic Evolutions. Um, you also have the nostalgia going for it as well. So, and realistically, we know that Pokemon likes to print specialty sets for over a 2 year period. I mean, you look at 151, it's like 2.5 years old, and we're still getting products. So I think people are starting to be a little bit smarter with their money. People that have been around the last year or 2 years, they're kind of knowing you don't have to hyper FOMO into everything, even though they're still hyper FOMOing into it. They're just kind of putting their money into smarter, better places. And Prismatic has gotten printed very, very, very heavily. So, like, again, for me, I think there's going to be good buying opportunities for Prismatic. I could be completely wrong with it, but I think we if we have a perfect storm of people leaving the hobby because we get a massive booster box reprint, people feel less confident. We have a bear market, things crash. A ton of people have a ton of Prismatic. It may not be bundles, it may not be ETBs, it may be your poster collections or your binder collections or your Sam's Club boxes. But there's a ton of product out there, and if that all gets put onto the market at one time, or in a short span of time, it's just going to slam the prices of the product all the way around. And we could see a pretty decent correction. So I think it's pretty smart to be relatively cautious of Prismatic, at least currently as it stands. Could be wrong. Could absolutely be wrong. More than likely, I'm probably wrong about it, but that's what I feel, and I feel pretty confident in that decision. No, I know Brandon for sure. I think the chase is for sure. What do you mean, whack? That talking about prismatic is better than 151? Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm very curious to see what is going to happen with the bundles from the Pokemon Center. I think people are going to wait till they start getting them in their hands because roughly, and this is just from information you hear from other people, we don't have a solid number on how many of those booster bundles were actually sold. I do know that there were people that reported they were 50,000th in line and were still able to get four of them. So if you think not every single one of those people probably got four, but a majority of those people did, we're probably looking at over 200,000 booster bundles coming to maybe even half are going to probably come to the market because you can really double what you made for them. Yeah, do we see bundles? I don't even know what they're going for market right now. I know Blab was talking about GameStop is selling for 65. Do we see GameStop drop them to 60, $55? Um, at $55, you're pretty safe picking those up. I think bundles for again for specialty sets are a great idea. I think they're going to perform very well because you have Pokemon Center ETBs, normal ETBs, and then you have bundles. That is surprising, Choo Choo. If what you're saying where people are not caring about, like premium wise, if maybe it's like $2, $3 more, I don't know what exactly you're talking about with that, but I would have thought that the stickered version would have been significantly cheaper than the wrapped sealed version. So that is quite surprising. But honestly, I feel like people don't care. They just like, hey, Prismatic's going to continue to go up and up and up and up, and who cares? But I know for me personally, I would not be buying those uh, the stickers on the bundles, the bundles with stickers. I That is a terrible idea. You're just gonna have to break those down. There's no sealed premium to them. Those stickers could be counterfeit. They could be resealed packs. Essentially, you're going to be paying price per pack, is what you're going to get for that. And even not, you're not even going to get that. So that is surprising. Undercut City, 100%. No shot. Half are coming to the market. You don't think so? Would you say? Would you say that a quarter is going to come to market? I would say half would come to market. I think people right now are just in like a flip mode. You know, yeah, I don't know. Well, we can agree to disagree. I guess we'll find out, won't we? We'll see either a massive spike up in availability or maybe not. But here's the thing: if you got them for if you got them for you got four of them, you paid. I think not Blab. Pablo said he paid like one. What was it? One like $100, $105 for four of the bundles. I mean, you're easily doubling your money on it. Well, I just don't see why you wouldn't. I personally wouldn't because I don't have any of them. Right? Like I wanted those. I was gonna buy them from Pokemon Center, but I think that some people are gonna be like, yeah, I can double my money and I can move it into a Phantasmal Flames, or I can move it into, I don't know, an Umbreon, a Gengar. I mean, who knows? There's the turkey. Come here, baby. You're gonna be a weirdo now. And Choo Choo, did you say that Distro's getting some as well? Yeah, yeah, I agree, Choo Choo. If you were able to get them, you need to keep them together. Absolutely, 100%. Hi, baby. No, we're talking about prismatic and no. So the other day, Brandon, when you texted me and asked what dropped, prismatic dropped. Prismatic bundles dropped on the Pokemon Center the other day, and it was a limit of four. Yeah, I mean, and again, Thomas, I think you're in the same boat as me. You opened up a ton of 151. So I think you said how many bundles roughly, like six or something like that. If you don't have, you know 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 bundles, if you have those that amount, it's probably smart to get out of them. Not all of them, but like even with Roxy, when they said that they had seven of the sealed Van Gogh Pikachus, like get rid of two of them right now. That's what I would personally do. You still have five of them. So if I had 20 bundles, I would probably sell off five of them, right now. And then you have 15. You can hold on to them for, see what happens, and then just continue to get rid of some of them. But obviously keep some of them. No, there's no way. No, Blab. I just saw your 75% of people do not rip their shit from the Pokemon Center. I'll be honest. I don't know many people that are ripping their shit from the Pokemon Center right now. Just being full transparency. Um, I'm trying to think of the last thing I ripped from the Pokemon Center. What is the last thing I ripped from the Pokemon Center? What was it? Phantasmal Flames? Phantasmal Flames. Phantasmal Flames booster bundles were the last thing I ripped from the Pokemon Center. You paid 117 after taxes. Okay. Thanks for that clarification. Yeah, I know that they did. Target. I think a lot of bots ate those up. So those are going to go straight to rip and ships and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I think if you're buying from Pokemon Center right now, you're either holding on to it. I think probably 25% of people are probably opening it, and you probably have a third, a fourth that are selling it off right away. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, I guarantee you. Watch what's going to happen with Chaos Rising. Within 10 minutes of Chaos Rising going live on the Pokemon Center, Pablo, if he's streaming, he's going to go once he gets his thing, and there's already going to be a bunch of sold listings for ETB, Pokemon Center ETBs, bundles, the booster boxes with the bundles, whatever they load up, it's going to be on eBay within like 10 minutes of it going live. It's just how it is. It's just how it is right now. I mean, yeah, at this point, I'm not, I'm not worried about Prismatic, man. There'll be another set, and who knows what Prismatic's going to do. If we get a Gen 10 new evolution, is that going to hurt Prismatic because it doesn't have all of the evolutions? There's a lot of things to just think about. You never know what Pokemon's going to do, but Prismatic could get hurt not having every single evolution in it once a new one comes out. If a new one comes out, got four Ascended Hero bundles incoming. Yeah, I do too. I want to open them because that's what I normally do. I normally open them. I don't know. I'm really torn. I think I'm not. I think I'm just going to hold on to them just because I don't have much 151. I've got a couple bundles. That's it. Paldean Fates, I don't have much of either. and prismatic. I have no really nothing of prismatic. So ascended heroes is kind of like I said earlier. You live and you learn, and if you keep making the same mistakes, you're a dumbass. I know that eventually I will get to open up some ascended heroes, but I would like to build up a little bit more to be able to have to enjoy opening having an opening experience with it. So I think that's more than likely what I'm going to do is just hold on to those four. Um, if I get 10, then once I get 10, I'll probably start ripping open some stuff. But you all know how hard Ascended is to get your hands on, unless you're willing to pay market or whatever GameStop is charging. You think 75% of Pokemon Center orders are either ripped or sold. So you only think 25% of people that get their product are holding on to it? I feel like more people would be holding on to it. Thank you, Thomas, for coming by as always. Have a good week. Have a good week. Rest of the weekend with your family. Ascended is it. I don't know. I think it's better than prismatic, but then people argue about it because of God packs. You know, so like I hear it all the time. People are saying that the God packs for prismatic are better because you know what you're going to get. I say that Ascended Heroes has better God packs because there's more of a gambling aspect to it. They also did make the pull rate for God packs more friendlier, easier to obtain. In Ascended Heroes, you could get a dud, you could get wiped out by Ascended Heroes God pack, or you could get the Dragonite, the Gengar, both the Pikachu's, the Mewtwo. There's a whole bunch of different options that you could get. I think it makes it more exciting, but everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Feel however you want to. I mean, like I said, the last bundles that I got were for Phantasmal Flames. I ripped them open, had fun opening them. Didn't really get jack shit, but yeah, I mean, who knows? I may get it. I may get. They may come in and we're doing a live, and I'm just like, fuck it. You know, Oh, I'm gonna try not to. The plan is to hold on, but you never know with me. I might just rip it. Not because I think I'm going to get got packed, just because I do want to open it. I want to open and experience Ascended Heroes. I want to pull something. It's been so long since I've pulled something. I've just been buying and buying and buying people's other pulls that they've gotten. I want to pull something. I want to have a good experience, but I've also I want to, it's not me that I need to think about my kids and my kids' future. And I do think there's going to be opportunities to get more Ascended Heroes. But what if I'm wrong? I don't think I'm always right. I don't think I always have the right answers. And I said, and a lot of you guys know this. I've said this. I'm going to hold on to all of my Ascended Heroes that I'm able to acquire at MSRP. And once I see products sitting on the shelves for like a month, that's when I'm going to go in and I'm going to open and enjoy the set. Right now, I think I just think you need to have some sort of caution to it. Yeah, I'll be honest, Ascended Heroes, I made that video that came out. I'm like, Pokemon has sent a warning shot, and they proved me wrong. They proved me wrong because the ETBs lasted a long time, the booster bundles lasted a long time. Like it just seemed, like Black Bolt and White Flare did. It seemed like if you wanted with Ascended Heroes, the booster bundles, if you wanted to get the Ascended Heroes booster bundles, There was no excuse you couldn't have gotten them because they literally turned the queue off to be able, like, you, there was no queue at that point. So there was a ton of them that were available and that were printed. But now look at what's happening. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I, who knows? I may say fuck it. I've got it's four, right? I've got four coming. I may say fuck. I may open up two and keep two sealed. Like I said, you never know. You guys know that. You never know what content I'm going to make, what I'm going to talk about. My mood is always changing, good or bad. Yeah, no, the Umbreon from Prismatic is I really like that card for sure. I like the Derby Chew from Ascended Heroes though. The Dragonite would be like my daughter would probably really like the Dragonite because it's very whimsical, cotton candy. But I'm not paying anywhere close to what they're going for right now. Like I would pay, let's, I would pay 150, 150 to 175 English for that card at the max. Are you Lambo? Are you opening up all of your bundles? What's good, Darius? How are you, bud? I wish we knew why they canceled people's ETBs. They're never going to tell you. Um, there's so much rumors and speculation behind it. I was told some people were getting canceled because they placed two, but both of the wave drops. So you need to be careful with your wave drops now. Then other people that had both waves, they got both of the, all four of their ETBs. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And I think Pokemon came out in some emails and said that they were canceling the ETBs for some people because there was a glitch in the system where it oversold. Who knows? I think it's probably more along those lines. It oversold, and but I mean, it's like how can Pokemon not figure things out? How do they not figure out their website? The queuing system I feel like is not too terrible. I like it way better than the other queuing system. I can never see what my queue was, so at least now we have a time. I think that's really great, but the website's glitchy when you get in there. Everything should be already loaded up. You shouldn't have to use the links and copy and paste and all this. Like there's a lot of things that after 30 years still need to continue to work on, and they would need to be way more fucking transparent. 110%. The lack of transparency and how we just allow for them to not be transparent is ridiculous. I pulled a God pack out of the One Piece 10 OP13. How much did you get from that? I don't know anything about One Piece, so excuse my ignorance. But I know Coop, he got a God pack and he was speculating tens of thousands of dollars. You're opening up all the ones. Are you going to make a video on it? Come here, baby. People want to see you. Here, let me see if I can get my turkey. She'll probably slap me with a wing, so give me a second. Oh, come here, you big bird. Say hello. People want to see you. Oh yeah, 2100. That's crazy. Congratulations. You got really lucky. You got the Gengar and now you got some One Piece hits. So your luck's on fire. Yeah, she just wanted some attention, but she's a big turkey. Did you guys see how big she was? Yeah, Blab, Have you not seen the videos with her in them? This is what she looks like. This is my turkey. She's a sweetie though. She used to be a bitch. She used to attack the kids, but she was just in her teenage stage. I know. I know. Yeah, no, I agree, Brandon, 100%. They just need to come out with statements, just like what Bandai did, saying, "Hey, we're reprinting these sets. This is what we're doing." They just refuse to do it. Again, I'm not surprised. I think they're doing it intentionally for 30th anniversary. So, oh, you think I should put this as a thumbnail? Just my giant turkey. You have fish, kind of the same. Yeah, kind of. The last post was prismatic. Yeah, no, it's been too long. It's well, they came. The only thing they haven't said anything directly about printing or anything like that. They've come out with delays, talking about their delays that they're experiencing. But there's been nothing, no transparency about this is what we're printing, this is what we're not printing. These are, so I'm looking forward. What we should get the information what next month about how many cards they printed last year, right? Your cat's indifferent. Yeah, dude. My cats scream at me, but other than that, they just want like constant attention. No, I agree. They right now they are loving the hype. They're loving all the FOMO. They want the 30th to be as hot as possible. So, all right, Pablo. See you later, buddy. Thanks for coming by. You can't wave at Pablo, Brandon. He called you a bot, remember? But they're here's the thing though is they're losing money. They're what they're doing right now, they're leaving money on the table. Other people, I'm not gonna say are making more money than them, but they could easily, if they dropped a million Destin Rivals booster boxes right now, they did a bundle of them. And let's say it was a Destin Rivals booster box and a Mewtwo plushie, right? They could make it was $200. They could make $2 million in 2 hours. You know, I really feel like I don't know. I feel like they're not like they're maybe losing money is the wrong word. I feel like they're leaving money on the table. They could be making way more money than what they're making, and maybe they're happy with the money they're making. The hype's there. All the sets are selling out. Everything. There's nothing sitting on the Pokemon Center, but also when there's nothing sitting on the Pokemon Center for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, I mean, people aren't buying. People are buying, but people are going on there and buying a plushie every single day. You know, they're it's we all know there's a queue for a reason. There's not queues for plushies. There's not queues for pins. It's for the TCG. So that's kind of what I mean by that is they could be making way more money than what they're making right now. Where distros are probably making more money than them, more than likely. I don't believe the whole narrative that distro is getting charged more by Pokemon, so therefore that's why they're charging more. I don't believe that to be the case. I think distro is maximizing right now. And then, if Pokemon sells a bundle for $30 and the market for the bundle is $60, they're not making that $30. That's other people that are making 20, $30 more than Pokemon is. Yes, you can technically say, well, Pokemon is making these cards for pennies on the dollar. That's a fair point, but I just think there's way more money they could be making. Right now, it seems like everyone else is making more money than Pokemon. Yeah, I feel like the closest turkey Pokemon is what is it called? It looks like a giant vulture, essentially. It's just like a vulture. But what we need to start a thing to get a white turkey Pokemon. That'd be really cool. No, I agree with you, Wack. We've had this conversation many, many times. I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to overprint, and it's going to be a game of figuring out what the perfect. Because what I think Pokemon wants more than anything, I think that they want for people to be buying product at MSRP, and so they're going to have to figure out the perfect solution on this is how much we need to print. We need to cut back on this, and they eventually will probably figure it out. But at first, I think that the only way this is going to get better, the only way this is going to get fixed to even close to MSRP is they got to flood the market. And then people are going to leave. Right now, if you could sit here and tell me that everyone in Pokemon loves Pokemon and prove that to me, you can have everything. You can have Adam. By the way, I'm going to put her down, but that's how big she is. She's a big old turkey. There you go, baby. Exactly. 100%. Choo choo. That's 100% correct. I think Pokemon is like I can't trust distro. I can't trust LGSs. They're going to hold back product. They're going to charge market price. So I think that's what Pokemon's doing is they've acquired Excel to be their distro. It's going to force other distributing companies that want to carry Pokemon, and who wouldn't want to carry Pokemon because Pokemon is the number one IP in the world, right? um, it's going to force them to have to sign some sort of contract that, hey, we don't need you for distribution. We have our own freight company. We have our own distribution facility and corporations that we use. I think these are all good things, but there's a lot of mistrust right now. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is. Buzz is a vulture. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. And that's 30 years of opportunity. Yeah, for sure. We definitely need a turkey. I'll be honest, Darius. A lot of people don't fuck with my content. You know what I'm saying. But that's okay. I don't need a lot of people to fuck with my content. I just need the right people to fuck with my content. So, um, like to be honest, and it took me a while to experience this and to realize this, but the only people that are getting hurt by me not growing are you guys, are people that show up and show support and love for the channel. Not because I'm not giving you guys anything, but because it's not where I want to get. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers to be able to make money, to be able to do giveaways. If I get there, great, but I don't think that the people, the 10, 15, 17 people, the 150 people that watch my videos, I don't think that it's what you guys care for. You guys don't care if there's giveaways or not giveaways. You guys just want to have these sort of interactions that you guys have come accustomed to. 3-hour live streams, Fridays, Saturdays, talking in the Discord, stuff like that. So I just had to realize whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I'll do what I can when I can. They do. We need booster boxes at retail stores. I don't know why. I mean, I do understand why. There's a whole logistics issue with it. Um, the problem is, and I know people argue with me all the time about this. This issue has shown that things are not going to get fixed if we do not get booster boxes. It does not matter how much ancillary product is printed. It doesn't matter how many SKUs of product is printed. It gets eaten up and up and up. You have to go for the top product, which is the booster boxes. If you hammer those and you kill those, everything else will follow. It doesn't matter if you're giving 36 packs. If you print millions of booster boxes, people are going to lose hope. People are going to lose this investing mindset. That they're going to see red. People are going to get shaken up. It's just they have to print booster boxes at some point, unless they just don't give a shit. And they may not. They may not. We talked about this yesterday. They may not give a shit about what happened. As long as things are the way they are, products. But people are leaving, and it's becoming where people are not able to continue to collect and enjoy a hobby that means something to them for whatever reason it is. And I don't think that Pokemon wants that. If they did, they've had many of years and opportunities and bull runs and cycles to be able to make that decision. Yeah, yeah, Roxy. I did see that video. We actually talked about it last night. It was I think I put it in the Discord too. I think I shared it in the Discord, but it's very interesting video. Very interesting, and it makes you think about it. Like when you even from the money aspect, right? You look at a pallet of booster boxes, it's going to sell for this millions of dollars. You look at a pallet of ancillary product, and it's going to sell for a fraction of what the booster box pallets are going to go for. Make it make sense. That's crazy, Darius. I thought you would have already been there because don't you have like 1.5 or 1.2 thousand subscribers? I didn't get that from Rudy's video about him complaining. I really felt like he was coming from a place of make it make sense, you know. Now Mason from Cardinal Gaming, I like Mason, but that man does a lot of complaining. He complains a lot about how things are and doesn't seem to understand. why a lot of people comment like you're just complaining because you can't get richer. I feel like Rudy is like, look, here is logistically how things work. Because a lot of us don't understand logistics and we don't know how much a pallet of this costs to a pallet of this. And he's like, there's no reason this makes any sense besides shady shit's going on, or Pokemon doesn't give a fuck anymore. And I don't feel like Pokemon doesn't give a fuck anymore. At least I don't want to believe that, right? I don't want to believe that Pokemon is going to be where it's not for everybody. At least I hope not. I don't think Pokemon, even though I think that Pokemon knows that not a majority, but a portion of their community, the people that buy up their product are adults that were kids. I think Pokemon knows that in order to continue, they have to still pay attention to the young kids, the five, the three, the four, the fives, the tens, the 15, 20-year old kids. It's just like Disney. Disney is celebrating 100 years of Disney being around. Well, when you go to Disney, you don't it's not adult themed. It's all kid themed because they know that that's how you continue to grow, and those people will become adults, and then they'll bring their kids to Disney, and then they'll have those core memories. I think any successful company knows that. And so I don't see how, because right now you can't even get ancillary product at MSRP. So they have to fix something. That's at least how I look at it. I might be wrong. You guys let me know. Am I way off base with that, or what? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Brandon. But I mean, and like I said, who knows? Who knows? Who, I don't have all the answers. Nobody does. So what's actually funny, Darius? I get more watch time from my lives than I get from my videos. So live streams have actually they're more fun for me. They're a funner experience, and I feel like it's more interactive, and I get more watch time from it. I just can't get the subscribers. That's all it comes down to for me. So, but you had kind of like a cheat code too, where you people would subscribe and like you open up a pack, right? So, I mean, I think that's a great idea. That's just really expensive. Exactly. Well, it's not even the red beards too. I mean, yes, that's a portion of it, right? The botters and the scalpers, the resellers, but it's also the fake investors, the people that say they have the diamond hands that they can hold for 3 to 5 years. Those people are going to be gone too. And Nostalgianomics said it perfectly. He said, everyone says that they have diamond hands. They're gonna, if they hold for 5 years, that if everyone holds for 5 years, you're going to make a profit. Well, people are selling every single day. You know, there's more product coming onto the market each and every day as prices continue to climb. So when people say they're diamond hands, are they diamond hands? There's there's a whole bunch to it. But yeah, those people will leave investors that are fake investors. They'll leave the fake fans of Pokemon, like the dude that was on Caleb Hammer that was investing or not even investing, opening $20,000 worth of Pokemon product, came in during 151. They'll leave. But it is the true fans, the true collectors, the people that really love Pokemon. Those are gonna be the ones that continue to support the hobby, support, grow Pokemon for years and years and years. Good, bad markets, doesn't matter. Yeah. 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 I mean, it was a real interesting viewpoint that he brought to it. So, and at the end of the day, like I said, everyone's losing out on money right now. Rudy's made it very clear he would love to sell more booster boxes for cheaper prices. He makes more money. Cardinal Gaming saying the same thing. Like a lot of people are saying it. I think probably the few people that are probably really enjoying it are like the whatnots, the rip and shippers, and stuff like that. But you hear this argument all the time from some people. It's not everybody, but you hear the argument that because of what's happened the last 2 years, it doesn't matter what Pokemon does. The rip and shippers, the scalpers, the botters, the investor bros, they have so much capital that no matter what size of product Pokemon throws at the hobby, at the market, they can eat it all up. And I think that it's a solid point. But the problem is that there is not enough money in this world that to eat up everything that Pokemon can throw at it. If they want to, if they truly want to do that, Pokemon can outprint and outproduce more than what all these people have combined. So I find it flawed, but it does make sense. And but again, you have to just watch what people say, and why are they saying this? There's all different ways of looking at things. And I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I never state that I'm always right. No one can ever be right all the time. I appreciate it, Brandon. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. Me and you have had multiple conversations about it. It's just, like I said, I can only do so much. I'm a dad, works my ass off, and I got my own life. I've got, I'm trying to grow for my kids' futures. So, I wish I could do giveaways every week. I just can't. And getting, let's be honest, anything that I can get that people are going to want, I got to pay market for. And I don't know if you guys know this, but singles are expensive right now in this market. So, I can only do what I can do, unfortunately. Yeah, that's true. But see, here's the thing though, Blood. It's not just Pokemon at that point, too. Yes, you are making um, zombie Pokemon, right? But people who probably may not even care for Pokemon may just like the goofiness of it or just the zombie of it. And so you're really in this interesting market that you've created for yourself because you have zombie fans and then you have Pokemon fans and then you have Pokemon zombie fans. So yes, like you have killed the resale value of it because it's no longer its purest form. However, you don't have to just be a Pokemon fan to want to own that. Somebody could be like, "Ooh, a zombie duck-looking creature that looks cool. I don't know what the fuck this is, but that's really cool." And then they buy it. Yes, the majority of your people are probably buying it because they like Pokemon and zombies, but it's not just as black and white as that. At least in my opinion. And I did not go to college, so I'm an idiot. So do not take what I say as anything. I'm just giving you my thoughts of it. Yeah, Brandon, you have diamond hands for sure. Oh, nice, nice. No, I mean it's no hate towards you, Darius, at all. I'm just saying, like with with the lives that you were doing, I'm just surprised that you're not at because I'm almost at 5,000 watch hours this year, and I'll probably be at 10,000 unless nobody watches my channel anymore. Like if everyone leaves, I'll probably be at 10,000 at the end of this year and still at 500 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? So like I would have thought that you would have already been there. Is what I'm trying to say. There's no hate or anything towards what you did. It is a cheat code, but that's I'm not trying to be hateful towards that. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want people to like I've had people comment on my videos and they're like, you just think you know everything. It's like, no, I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions. I never claim to be right. Sometimes, sometimes a dog gets lucky every now and then. So I feel like I'm starting I think I think when people look back at my content, if they give the fair opportunity to actually listen to what I have to say, I think I've been right more times, and I think I will be right more times than I will be wrong by a substantial amount. I don't think it's like 50-50, and I also don't think I sit on the fence. I don't do like Nostalgianomics does, where he positions himself to never be wrong because he just falls back on the 3 to 5 year investment phase. I try to definitely shoot at the hip, but I think especially I hope what I'm saying, people are gonna be like, yeah, he was right, and he was trying to help people. Because I honestly feel like a lot of people on YouTube right now are not trying to help people. They're trying to act like they're helping people while financially only helping themselves. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I could be wrong. I'll always admit when I'm wrong. I just won't make a video about it. That's the wrong thing to do. You never admit that you fucked up on a video. You say it some other way. No, I'll tell you what it is, blood. Honestly, people don't take you legit unless you have a collection behind you for the most part. And I do think being more energetic would probably be a perk. But again, I kind of want, not kind of, I want to be authentic. I want it to be like, I guess for some reason, if we came across each other in the real world, you'd be like, yeah, that the dude's the same in the real world as he is on the internet. Because I feel like a lot of people aren't that way. A lot of people will act one way, and then behind closed doors, they're completely different. And I'm just not a fake. I'm not a fake person for the most part. I have to be fake for my job a lot of the time, but that's why I don't want to be fake on here because you spend so much of your life being something you're not or having to abide by rules. What's the fun in that? If you're doing, especially when you're doing something for free, which that's what this is. I know hypothetically, not hypothetically, I made money today, but that was never the intention of it. That was that was because Pablo said something about it, and then you guys don't listen. So, but we're gonna fix that next month. Memberships are gonna be whatever I can get them at. If they're $1,000, so I guess I can't do anything about super chats though, but or whatever that paying stuff that you guys did. Mm-mm. No, I mean I've been told that. I've been told that before. Like I have no credibility. I'm a small channel. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't have a wall of product, and that helps. Especially if you try to talk about money in any way, shape, or form. Um, People want to see that you know what you're talking about, and people, for all they know, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I understand that. I understand there's a lot of fake people that have come onto YouTube and said one thing and done the complete opposite, and that's just the name of the game. Yeah, I mean, the sad part is so many people now they come onto YouTube not because it's fun, but because they hear about. the people that have made millions of dollars, you know, turned their whole life around, made a generational wealth based off of some of them's dumb luck, some of them is hard work, and so they think they got to do it. If you held a plunger, I'd trust you more financially. That is, nah, yeah. Um, I'll be honest, and I don't know how many people are in here still. I how is Plummer blown up as much as he's blown up? And your all's opinions. Do you find the do you find the information that he provides is it more I don't know. I'm really curious on it because he has quickly expanded and blown up, and it's no hate towards him, but I feel like a lot of what he says, there's nothing special about it. I do think the giveaways have a lot to do with it. Also, CTR supporting him, backing him, being his friend. Probably somewhat of people have gone over to him because of that, but was AFK cleaning fish tank. Well, you missed saying bye to Adam, but have a good one, Roxy. Thanks for coming by. No, I'm just curious. I'm really curious on it because he came out of nowhere, and then you know he went on to CTR's lives. CTR pushed him, and then he's blown up, and he's never gone back. Which there's no reason for him not to go back. I'm just curious on because he doesn't show any graphs. He hardly does any openings. He mostly sits in front of a camera, plays with a plunger, and almost kind of repeats himself. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so I'm just curious on if you guys watch him, what you guys think about it, and what makes you go back to watching that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Brandon. I mean, and who knows, right? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Pokemon does something different, right? I can only I can only speculate and go based off what I've seen before. Yeah, that's a fair point, Darius. That's a very fair point. Yeah. Yeah. He's got the wall boxes. Sure does. Which is interesting. Do you think you can be a collector and only can you be a collector and only collect sealed product? Because he says that he is a collector first before an investor. But he came back, he said he came back, what was it? XY? Was he say XY or was it Sun and Moon? I think he said XY is when he came back. And so, but if you just look at what he's got, I don't understand how you can be a collector and say that you're a collector first before an investor and just buy cases and cases and cases and cases of a product, you know. Now he says he opens a lot. I don't know. I don't have an Instagram. I don't follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he shows him opening up a bunch of stuff, but when does it stop being collecting and start just being investing? And again, this is no hate. I'm just curious on how you guys see it from a viewing aspect. Yeah, Choo Choo, are you talking about him? him saying he came back during XY, or am I missing something? Awesome. Awesome, Blab. I will be looking forward to it. Are you, what time are you going to upload it? In the morning or afternoon? Or I normally get notified, but no, I mean, yeah, Brandon, that's how I feel. Like, I think if you're a collector, there's no shade in collecting sealed product, right? However, if you own, I mean, some people would even say a case is no longer collecting. You know, if you have a case of booster boxes, that's 6 booster boxes. Are you a collector at that point? Or are you an investor? If you definitely, I think if you own more than one case, you're definitely an investor, and we all know that he's got more than that. So it's like, that is true though, Blood. Very good point. There, the line is blurry between collecting, investing, and hoarding. And I think a lot of people in Pokemon are hoarders. They just don't say they are. Recovering addict. Oh, I guess I didn't hear. I know he said he was like what, suicidal when he made that video about how Pokemon saved his life, and now everybody makes videos about how Pokemon saves their life. Yeah, Darius, I heard about that, and then he showed up. I guess he was doing a podcast with Alex Nostalgianomics, and then he bailed on that one and went to do a live with CTR. But I don't know much about it. I never even saw the podcast with Nostalgianomics. In case you're not aware, I'm not a big fan of Nostalgianomics. So when I said his video today was actually pretty good, that means his video today was pretty good for me to have to say that. Okay. Yeah, like I said, Choo Choo, I don't have Instagram. I don't follow him on Instagram, so I don't, I know, like I said, I know he said he was really depressed, and he danced around the line of being suicidal. I don't know if he ever said he was or not, but and then Pokemon gave him meaning and something like that. So that would be you. Case is not for collecting. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's at least how I look at it. But again, like, you could be, say, hey, I'm a hoarder. That was a good one, Whack. That was a real good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that joke. Pokemon saved my life because car ran through my house. But you know what stopped it? My walls of cases of Pokemon Center products, booster boxes, and all that. That was a good one. That's a fair point. That is a fair point as well, Brandon. Very good point. Cases is more of investing. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, I was very interested in how you guys feel about that. That was a very good one, Whack. I might have to end the night on that one. That was that was very witty, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. So, I think we're gonna go for like 5 more minutes, guys. I'm gonna finish this off, and then I gotta go inside, eat dinner, try to figure out what's going on with my mic, try to get this video out to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Nothing crazy. Don't. Adam will be in the video. Um, I'll throw her in, but you guys already got to see her. So I appreciate you guys as always. But that was, yeah. Everyone, everyone, give a round of applause to Whack on one of the best jokes I've heard in a minute. Yeah, the wall the wall of cases stops the car, falls on you. Now you die. You die from your own cases. Is is weed legal in what is it, PA? You live in PA, right? I'll tell you what, I the last week there is this guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he wears the same shirt. It's a Pickle Rick shirt, and he just smokes weed all day, every day. And YouTube is trying to push it down my throat, and I'm just like, I don't care anything about it. Yeah, you take care. You take care, Ludwig. Hit me up whenever you need anything. I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow or sometime this week for sure. And of course, thank you as always, guys, for coming by, checking out the live. We're at an hour, or we're at 172 minutes, so almost 3 hours. So 6 hours the last two nights. Y'all are crazy. Had a blast. Had an absolute blast. I will be very much looking forward to next Friday, next Saturday. Being smothered and crushed by your own cases is crazy work. Yeah. Yeah. Saved my life. Then I died. You know a guy? Okay. Oh yeah. I just didn't know. It seems like it legit seems like every state now, league weed is legal or you can get it medically. Um I never know anymore. Like I know Colorado, I think Colorado you can buy weed without a medical card. I think Wax said something about it, but I guess I missed something. Medical medical weed is legal here in Colorado. Okay. I knew people that went up from Kentucky. They went and picked up weed in Colorado and then brought it back and sold it. So I don't think they had medical cards though. I could be wrong. Darius, um, I hope I'm pronouncing it. Is it? It's Darius. I don't, or is it Darius? I don't know. Appreciate you coming by too. It's been a while since I've seen you. I didn't even know you watched the channel anymore. That's right, Blood. You even got your Adam cameo. You got to see her and as close as in person as you can. It's Wreck in New Jersey, which is 10 minutes away. So how does that work though? If it's 10 minutes away, okay, if you're in PA, I assume you have to cross state lines. If you cross, because like where I live, we're probably 20 minutes away from Illinois. Over in Illinois, it's legal. You can just get it without a medical card. But if you cross state lines, then you're looking at, I don't know, felonies or misdemeanors or intent. I don't know all the legal jargon. So is it the same thing where if you get caught going across state lines, then you can get in a shitload of trouble, or how does that work out? I would you would never cross state lines. Yeah, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Ooh, people don't cross state lines. I sure don't want to find out for sure. Yeah, no, I have no. The only thing I've ever thought about doing, and I've talked to my wife about it, because I have a real hard problem, like hard time sleeping. But like where I live, you can go to the tobacco store and you can get weed gummies. And I've thought about trying that to like help me relax at night. But my wife's like, the last thing you need is to get addicted to weed gummies. And they're not cheap for what you get. Is a ticket for real, at least in Philly. I'm not gonna ask, hey bud, you get this in New Jersey. Yeah, I mean I get it. Like I said, I know how I've been around enough people that smoke weed and smuggle and bring it across state lines. I just like I said, it's like every state. You never know which state's recreational. You could just go buy it from anywhere, and then um, where like medical cards, like Kentucky, at least where I live, is medical cards. But I could go get one. Like I could go get a medical card right now for weed because depressed. I have depression. I have bipolar, but it's like I have no desire to, especially smoke it. Um, oh, sweet. I got you, Darius. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's hard to know who watches my videos, who doesn't. If you don't like comment on them, I'm not saying you have to comment on them. I'm just saying. And then the lives, it's been a while since I've seen you in the lives, except for the last 2 weeks. So I know that you commented on a video around like Christmas time, which was really cool to see. But like Choo Choo that was in here earlier, I don't know if he's still in here. Um, he was active in the channel for a little bit, and then like a month or two ago, he stopped showing around, and then made a comment on a video today, and I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I didn't even know you like." Or I said like, "How you been? I haven't seen you in a while." So you just never know, I don't know unless people say stuff. So that's all. That's the only reason I ask. It's good to sleep, but you don't dream, dude. I don't dream at all. Like I know technically you dream every night, but I might dream. I take magnesium for to help me sleep at night. I may dream once every 2 weeks that I can remember. So like, why do I care if I dream or not? But I also don't want to be fucked up by gummies. You just take your bong hit. You just take one bong hit every couple of hours, and you're good. Keeps you motivated. I've heard that people that smoke weed, it does not. It does the opposite of motivating. You just want to sit around and keep smoking weed. But I don't know. I've never smoked it before. Here's here's a stinker. It's legal both ways in Ohio. We either go to Michigan or Denver or make a Cali run. So, so k- does it depend on the state that you live in, or like, so if you go, let's say you go to Denver, right, and you pick up weed, and then you're bringing it back to Ohio, are you just hoping you don't get pulled over? Is that how that works? Like I said, I don't know shit about it. I don't know anything. You just say, "Hey, officer, I know I'm crossing. I don't know whatever's in between Rhode Island. I'm going to Ohio. So in Ohio, where I live, weed is legal. I'm curious on that. As long as you don't sell it, I got you. Dreams have been coming back. All right. Nightwack, thanks for coming by, buddy. We're gonna hop off here in a minute. Now we're talking about weed, so I got to get this information while I can. Yeah, that's how that works. Just drive the speed limit. Okay, so you can still get in trouble for crossing state lines with it. You just try to be a law-abiding citizen until you get to your state. I got you. I got you. That makes that makes sense, Blood. Yeah, like I said, for me, I don't know. I'd probably smoke weed if it wasn't for the smell. The smell is just something that I can't get behind. Like I said, I've thought about doing edibles because to help me sleep at night. But I also like my body. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this or you guys do deal with this. My body adapts really quickly, and it's done it with medication and stuff my whole life. But um, like I could start off, like I could. I don't know how long it takes for you to hit weed, but realistically, let's say I could take 3 hits of weed from a bong, and that's what normally stones people. Again, I don't know anything about weed, so excuse me. And then a week later, I could, instead of doing three, I would have to do, maybe 4, 5. The following week, it'd be, it just keeps going up, and that's how my body's always been. So, like when I was taking melatonin to sleep, I would start off at 5, and then a couple weeks later, I was at 15, and a couple weeks later, I was at 30, and just had to eventually get off of it. Rip a chop or a mole? I don't know what that means. More money for cars. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Like I really need to cut back on the cigars. Um, but I enjoy it. So just gotta make decisions. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, I'd probably, if anything, I do gummies, and I'm not at that point in life that I, and it's expensive too. I don't know how much they, I don't know how well they actually work. Um, but I like being able to piss and for my piss to be fine on drug test. So probably just stay away from it. But anyways, gents, it was a absolute pleasure. Um, it was a pleasure. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with my mic, eat some food, try to get a video out. I will see you guys in the comments. Blab, I will see you tomorrow in your video. Darius, thank you for coming by. Blood, keep making that zombie shit. Don't forget about Crazy. Head up Crazy in the Discord about his card. And yeah, you guys have a great week. Be on the lookout for Chaos Rising. Good luck. Hopefully, hear good positive news next week when we go live. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. When I hit 1,000 subs, Papa got me. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Night, guys.